Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this toke.
You're watching the Hi Guys podcast with Al and the other Al on the 420 Pace Project.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Hey, welcome to the Hi Guys podcast with the two Al's. What are you looking at today, Al?
I'm hearing voices today, Al.
Are you? Where are they coming from?
It's yours.
Oh. Does it sound clear or does it sound all stuffed up and coffee?
No, you still sound stuffed up, unfortunately.
Well, you know, I believe it's starting to break up though.
Are you keflemted still?
Am I still what?
You don't know what keflemted means?
I didn't hear the word, but I've never used the word in my.
Keflemted is a Yiddish word that means you're all stopped up. I'm all keflemted.
I am all. Yes, I am. It's actually getting better versus getting worse, so that's a good sign. But
that's a good sign.
It's been hanging on too long. I got to get rid of it.
Nope, you're not allowed.
Oh, come on, man! I got to share it. You want to take it for a bit?
I've already got it. Thank you.
Oh, well, then you're experienced. But it eventually leave. They usually do.
Well, you know,
I am susceptible to colds.
Our friend the pharmacist on my show, on the 420 show, tells me that most infections or colds will run itself out after 7 days or 6 days.
6 days.
6 days.
Yeah.
It's like that old adage, I guess they call it. It takes 6 days to create a habit and 21 days to get rid of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm on day 21 of trying to get rid of this cold.
Well, then you'll be fine tomorrow.
I hope so.
If that's true.
Yeah.
I've been pre-approved for a Rogers MasterCard.
Oh, what are you? You're lucky.
No, thank you.
Yeah. So today on the show, we got more than just colds and coughs and stuffed noses. We've got some recipes. We got some news, some medical news, as well as some just some news. We got some sports news. We got
some heartburn.
Got heartburn?
Heartburn.
Oh.
I've been up most of the night. Really bad heartburn.
Oh, what'd you eat that you shouldn't have?
Stir fry before I went to bed.
No, there you go. And are you tumming it with some Tums?
No, I don't take anything for it because I find that the antacids, just all they do is they make me bloat and get gas really bad, and then I got to walk around and toot for a week.
Oh shit! Yeah, well,
exactly.
No shit. I know that that's something I've dealt with for years, and
I know.
The scopes down into the stomach shows that because of the scarring.
It's coming.
Yeah, it can burn the your throat from all the stomach acid coming up.
One of the things I've learned is when somebody that has bad acid reflux. Yeah. Or is bulimic or something like that and makes themselves throw up after a meal or whatever, it can cause really, really bad reactions for your teeth, especially the back of your teeth and your throat and your esophagus. Because it's all stomach acid and it burns.
Correct. Yeah. That's what they saw the last time they did an endoscope down into my throat, down in my stomach.
when I wake up in the morning after a night of bad heartburn, even having a tea in the morning, which I'm out of, so I'm
No.
grumpy. Even
Out
having
of
a
tea,
tea in the
not
morning
heartburn.
burns. It whatever, even water just it burns my throat.
Yeah.
And so, but I
Yeah.
don't like to take antacids because I get bloated to the point where it's painful. Rosalie, would you please lay down? You're clicking.
What about some Pepto Bismol?
I'd be willing to try it. I've never tried that. Usually, it's been Rolaids, antacids, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tend to stay away from stuff like that because prolonged use of that stuff can be very bad for you.
Yeah.
Would you lay down,
What
please? You're
about
flipping all over the place. Excuse me, I'm having a conversation with my dog.
your dog?
Here, lay down, please. Bingo, lay down. Bingo girl, please. Rosa, lay
Yeah,
down.
Al's just talking to his dog, folks.
Yeah,
so
we're just
we'll come back.
Just shut up. I don't remember what I was saying other than it makes me antacids and that make me bloat painfully. And sometimes for several days.
Okay, I'm gonna make a recommendation to you then.
Okay.
Hey.
Stop eating spicy food.
Well, yeah, obviously that would help. But if you're looking for something that you can take to help settle that, I'm going to recommend a medication, a prescription medication that I took for decades that is now available by over the counter. You can just walk up and just buy it there now. And that's
Spanish fly.
What's that?
Spanish fly?
No. No, something called Zantac.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I took it for years. And
I've heard of it. But, it's one of those things, Al. I mean, I have a deviated septum. And the only way they can correct it is by surgery, but they can make it a little more comfortable with a spray. That spray, I was told not to use something like Dristan or something like that because it becomes an addiction. Because it's like it makes your face feel better, your head feel better. So you overdo it, and then eventually the Dristan doesn't work so well, so you have to use more. And it's literally a cycle, like getting caught up in pills and stuff.
Yeah, it's
so I try and stay away from that stuff, but I will try the Pepto.
Yeah, Pepto.
Zantac. That just coats your tummy, right?
Pepto will coat your stomach, and the Zantac will reduce the acid that's in your stomach.
I like acid.
Do? Yeah, well, this is an LSD.
Yeah, I find the mushrooms actually create a little heartburn sometimes too.
Yeah.
A lot of things do,
Do they? I know. I've been dealing with that for years.
I also have to start cutting. Like, I don't use a lot of salt, but lately I have been for seasoning. Yeah. And I got to cut back because that's even affecting my prostate.
Oh yeah.
It will enlarge your prostate and inflame it.
Oh,
and it'll get very angry with you. And then even when you sit down, you're like, ouch.
So yesterday, actually on Saturday, it all started Saturday. I could hear this cat just screaming, meow, 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 meow. And I started following the sound, and it came from, I made it up to a pond on the property, but it was on the other side of the pond. And on the other side of the pond, there's a county road. So I got to the pond and I couldn't get around it. So I went out to another side road and walked down to the county road. And as soon as I got down where the cat sound was, it stopped. It went quiet.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. So I left it. Sunday, we're out and about in the yard, and Gail can hear a cat in the barn. We don't normally have barn cats. So we opened the door, went into the room, and I said, "Hey, Gart." I said, "Hey, Garfield, what are you doing in here?" Thinking Garfield is our cat, right? And Gail says to me, "No, Garfield is right here beside me." So it turns out that the cat that was in the barn wasn't Garfield, obviously. And so I took it as a stray. I walked over to it, and the thing starts rubbing up against my legs, and I could pet it, and I actually picked it up. Like stray cats, you don't normally do that to,
Yeah. Obviously, it's
right?
not a stray then.
And obviously, it's not a stray cat. So I spent yesterday. I went around to around the neighbors, up and down the roads, knocking on people's doors. Hey, you missing a cat? No, no, don't know anything about a cat. Not missing one. And then there are some people that just weren't home because it was through the daytime, right? And turns out that nobody. I actually went 1, 2, 3, 4, down 4 different roads, knocking on people's doors. Nobody owned the cat, but everybody agreed that because this cat was so friendly that there's no way that it was a stray. They figure somebody has dropped it off. Unfortunately.
So now you got a field cat.
Well, we've also have 3 cats and 3 dogs here on our own.
How do they get along?
Those all get along fine, but this new cat comes from nowhere, and so last night, because
now you have a barn cat.
Right now we have a barn cat, and so what I did last night is I made it a spot to sleep. Got the straw out and got a blanket out and made a little shelter inside the barn so it could stay warm. And then today, what I'm going to do after the show, I'm going to take it into a vet and see if it's been microchipped. Scan it, and if it's got an owner, then we can return it to the owner.
Is it clean?
Yeah, it's clean. It's healthy.
No bugs?
No bugs. No nothing.
So it's recently been outside.
Correct.
Although it is still cold enough that bugs aren't yet.
Yeah. Well, last night it was cold here, and it was windy, and it started actually snowed. Al, what are you doing sending that stuff this way?
Hey, don't look at me, buddy. It hasn't snowed in 2 days.
It's it finally made it then. But it snowed a bit last night, and so I haven't had a chance to go out to the barn this morning to see if it's still there.
Well, I hope it's okay.
But I assume it will be, and then I'll take it in the vet, get it scanned, and if there is no owner to it, and it's also posted on Facebook as well. If there is no owner to it, we do have somebody who is willing to take it.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. And then that doesn't include my grandson, who was all over it last night and the day before. He even named it.
Oops. I was going to say, don't name it.
Yeah, he named it Arlo. So, Arlo, yeah, like Arlo Guthrie.
Oh, Arlo. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll find out. Like I said, I'll find out this afternoon.
Well, I hope so.
If anybody owns it.
And I hope that that person doesn't come back in a week or two and say, "Where's my fucking cat?"
Well, that would be if the owner sees it on Facebook within the next week or two. All we can do is connect them to the person who now has the cat, and they can decide where it goes, right?
Yep.
But I figure that it's your job.
I'm keeping the cat. It's my cat now.
Yeah. So that's a story that maybe that could have been tragic. Hopefully, we'll have a happy ending for the kitty. So
now I wish I had a sigh or a
yeah. I even got a picture of him. Well, I got a few pictures of him, but he's a good kitty. He's been behaving.
You don't want another kitty?
No, like I said, we've already got 3 cats here.
So you maybe take a 4th. Come on, Al.
There he is.
Cute. Oh, he's just a young little guy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, just a young guy, and you can see here on the bottom of the step he's sitting, and above 3 steps above him is our Garfield.
Ah, so they get along.
Well, I know. Yesterday morning ours were in the window growling at him. So, but yeah, they get that close together, and the dog goes over. Tussa goes over and sniffs it. And doesn't seem to have any problem. But yeah, we're gonna send him to find a home for him, anyways. So,
There you go.
yeah, Jay, exactly. Hey Al, I got that Tuesday morning question for you.
What are you smoking?
I'm having a mix of Master Kush, Platinum Pink Kush, and Death Bubba.
Oh, big mixture.
And I've discovered, I mean, I knew this, but I've discovered that if I don't just grind and turn around and dump in the tray, there's a hell of a lot of keef in the bottom of that grinder.
There is there?
So I've been pulling that out and sprinkling.
Putting it in your doobies.
I'm noticing that, there's a big difference between the medical value, aka buzz, of removing the kief or keef, whichever you want, tomato.
Right.
It changes the buzz. It does. I mean, it's not as overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, really? Eh? Even though you're adding some kiff to it.
Well, no, when I'm taking it away and just smoke a doobie without,
yeah.
it's a totally different buzz because it's not overwhelming sometimes. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm bored. I'm trying to amuse myself, if you must know.
Jeez. I'll get rid of this.
What are you smoking? Nothing, because you're in your office, your new office.
I'm in my new office, but I do have, once we get to that point, I do have a product review that I'm going to do in my office.
So you're going to stank up the new room?
No, well, it's not that. It won't be that bad. It won't be that bad. So, but other than that, yeah, I'm smoking some Cherry Dragon mixed with a little bit of CBD stuff that I've added to it.
I was looking at what is available to me in the vaporizer cartridge market there at the store here.
Yeah.
And aside from some honey oil, it's all distillate.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making my own again.
Yeah.
The squishy.
I have found some resin stuff. Resin.
Yeah, they are completely recreational. They don't care about medical, and he brings stuff in that people want to buy. And up here, most of the people that I see in there are either seniors who know what they need, or the kids just go in and say, "Oh, I like that buzz last time. I'll take that." And I guess that's what we've been doing too all our lives. But now it's different.
Yeah.
I like to know. I always ask when somebody hands me a nug or even a doobie, although I don't share doobies much anymore. I always ask what it is, and usually the answer is, I don't know.
My friend Bob, he used to say, when I asked him what he was smoking, he'd say the good stuff.
Weed.
He never knew the name. He just called it the good stuff.
The good stuff. Yeah. The stuff we got down at the St. Charles Tavern in the 1970s.
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, it's
they've renovated that whole block where
Did they?
the St. Charles used to be, but they've left the tower, the clock tower
Yeah.
on the top. Now, the main reason I even know about the tavern is because literally it was the best place to get weed in the 70s in Toronto. But next door to it, do you remember what was next door to it, Al?
No.
No, it was a like a I guess the 70s version of a tech shop.
Oh, okay.
It had gadgets and much like the Acme store down on Queen Street,
Yeah.
the one with the clown in it, went like this.
Scaring everybody as it walked by.
There's been a few stores in Toronto over the years that I've frequented. One of the CP used and PC used. That was a place to get used computers. That's where I used to buy all my used stuff. Mac and PC.
Yeah.
There was a little computer store on Yonge Street just below the TTC building, beside the art shop. The art shop, the big store
Yeah.
there. And they had everything that you could think of that you might need like cords, and you could go in and get because everything was wired back then, right?
Right.
So you could go in and get cords and connectors, so you didn't have to get a really long cord. You could just get two little short cords.
Made it.
There was an electrical store
Yeah.
beside Ramsden Park on Yonge Street, and that's where I used to get my light blinkers and stuff like that you would get from Christmas trees and stuff like that. But I would use them in different applications.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And
were you using it to torment your neighbors with or anything?
No, I had a disco down in the basement. My mom hated it. I wired some speakers into the stereo upstairs, and we went out and stole a bunch of construction signs, the ones that blink, 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 and converted those into a parallel connection of lights hooked into the speaker line. So the more voltage, bass, treble, things like that, the brighter it gets. They still use that technology. And I made, we had a disco ball and everything downstairs. It was our makeout nest.
Did you make up or make out?
Make out. It's where we brought the girls, Al.
Yeah, I know. I had one of those rooms too.
My mom hated it because she came home one day and there was a basement room downstairs made up of her very high thread count sheets.
Oh!
I was in so much trouble, Al.
I guess so. I guess so. Just on a bit of a somber note. You can see behind me, I got the treating yourself sign behind my head there.
Kind of scary.
Yeah, there it is. Up on the wall. Big poster there. I was down, as you may know, and our listeners or viewers may know, or may not know. Marco is in the hospital.
Marco Renda,
yeah, Marco Renda. He's in the hospital dealing with liver cancer. I've been down and visited him a couple times. I was down last Friday, cool. Visiting him, and I took 420 Deb down with me.
Oh, that must have been a treat.
Yeah, we went down and just drove straight down to the hospital. Found a spot to park, which is, it just said the website said plenty of parking, and we found it.
$500 that day.
Yeah, it was $20 for the day.
That that in the city, that's not so bad. There are some places where you can go and get cheap parking. Just as a suggestion, if you're downtown going to the theater or going to the Sky Dome I'm sorry, it's not the Sky Dome anymore, the Rogers Center. There is a parking lot below below the Princess of Wales Theatre.
Oh yeah.
And it's only $15. It's the cheapest parking in the city. At least it used to be.
Yeah, this was right at the hospital, so it worked out pretty good. And we went in and seen him. He was sitting on the edge of his bed having some lunch when Deb and I arrived, and he had a sitter there. I posted an update.
Yeah, I saw your post. Yeah,
on TY and shared it around. So anybody who's in Toronto, you're near Princess Margaret's Hospital, stop in and say hi to
Marco. Yeah.
Stop in and say hi.
Is he
May not
able
answer your messages? So
is he able to use oil as well? Is he doing that?
No. He before he was hospitalized, he was he had some oil at home, and he was finding himself getting pretty stoned all the time.
Yeah. And I have to stop every now and then, otherwise I walk around like a fucking zombie, or more zombie like than I used.
So I'm hoping to go down again and see him next week. Shooting for next Wednesday to go down and see him for a visit and see how things are going. So
good. We'll say hello to him.
I shall.
Marco was instrumental in dragging me into this so-called community that we have.
Oh, well, I think he brought in a lot of people, especially a lot of patients.
Well, we were doing the show. Dave and I were doing the show. I don't think Brian was even involved at that point. And we started going to the TY. We went to a few, but when I called, Marco called me right back, and he's like, "Yeah, come on down, bring your stuff." Yes, So we went down, and Dave and Kelly was with me, and Marco comes out, and he introduces himself. It's the first time we met, and he had Dr. Bob with him.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I met Dr. Bob as well. And then I said to Kelly, "Here's the microphone. Go talk to Dr. Bob."
Yeah,
I miss Dr. Bob. I miss Bob's wit and humor, even though he was very, very flat in his conversation because he's not, a scientist. He was very amusing to talk to because he had a lot of stories. He's been around.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So he knows what he's talking about. Well, so he's a very big loss to the community, unfortunately.
Yeah, Dr. Bob being gone for sure.
But that's how I met, and then Marco spent some time with us behind the stage at the last really big Freedom Festival, Toronto Freedom Festival, which was generally held on the GMM day. Right?
Correct. Yeah, exactly. That's when they had the big stages all set up, and they had the bands going. It was called the Freedom Festival.
I also met Casper there for the first time.
Casper, really?
Casper
at TY or
at that festival?
Oh, okay. I didn't know that he went.
Yeah, he was sitting in the media tent by himself with all his computers, kind of like what I do. I find a little corner, set everything up.
Yeah, he would have probably had his laptop.
I want to say 8-9 years ago, because Jennifer Pixie just posted video of when COM was raided and they came in and knocked the guy off of his wheelchair. And
I remember that. Yeah.
And that was 9 years ago. I was like, wow. So I remember, I specifically remember that day because we were on our way to go down there. I was literally, that's where I was heading that afternoon. And it happened that morning, around 11 or 12 o'clock, I think it was.
Yeah. I remember the video was posted. And
the
security camera got
one of the first medical dispensaries in the city of Toronto that actually knew Neve and Amy and Sandra Petit and Sarah Sunday. You walk in those doors and meet all of those people back then at the same time.
Yeah.
And those people now are some are gone and some are hidden, and some are still around. Amy's still around. Sarah, as we know, Karma Cup.
Yeah.
Neve is a professor at what they used to call Ryerson.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called now.
Yeah, I don't. But he teaches cannabis stuffs.
Oh yes.
So there, and unfortunately, we lost Sandra a few years ago. Now it's been a long time now already, eh?
It's been a while for sure. Yeah, because TY was still publishing then. I don't think so. It's been a while. It's been several years.
I mean, like the things that have come and gone. I mean, TY came and gone. COM has come and left.
Is the Toronto Compassion Center still around?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah,
COM tried to set up shop across the street from where Mark had his cannabis culture in the village. They're on Church Street, Church and Gerard, somewhere around there. And but there's been a few attempts, but not really.
Not really. Yeah.
But they're starting to come up. Is Justin still around? I don't know.
He's still around, but I don't think he's like his Compassion Center is not around. Just
because he was one of the last ones to close.
Yeah. There's right now. It just seems because there's just so many stores between legal and illegal stores.
I remember walking out of the lounge in Hamilton on King Street, and you would see a dozen shops all lit up, all with some with lineups even back then to get cannabis, and Paula had one next door to the lounge as well, and then they just we were one of the last ones to be closed, and then there were none, and now it's Conrad's down there still with the Village Cannabis. No, it's legal now. That was where I was going. There's lots of people that have been around for a long time that have just now entered the legal ring. Conrad's one, and most recently, the last week or two, Jody has taken on cannabis culture dispensaries. Legal dispensaries after all those trials and tribulations that her and Mark went through over the years. It's really, they refused Mark, obviously, but I like that she's finally got her store, and there will be more. I'm hearing a lot more.
I imagine there will be more coming up.
But it's in Niagara Falls. If you're in Niagara Falls, go visit the Cannabis Culture Store. I don't know if you'll find Jody there or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Might never know. Owners aren't always present in their stores. They have other things to do. Other than they hire people to sell the product. So
at one time, I was looking at getting involved in something like that because I really loved what Paula was trying to do at Gunjanistas.
Yeah.
And so shortly after that, my father died. And I was like, huh. But in retrospect, and this was 8 years ago now, I think.
Yeah.
In seeing what's happened with that business, that kind of business, I'm glad I didn't, because I probably would be sitting somewhere else with a pout on my face and broke.
Yeah, I know somebody.
I'm broke anyways, but
Yeah, I know of a fellow who was going to open up a vapor lounge until legalization came in place and no smoking.
We went looking for places.
Yeah,
we went down to the beaches. We saw restaurants that were available with porches outside, and You know, and then I was looking at shops to do a dispensary, and I was like, you know, I don't have $1.5 million.
No.
Well, that couldn't happen. But you know, I'm glad I didn't jump into that arena, because you know, several months later they shut everything down.
Yeah.
Even what's the one that was in Cabbage Town, Al? Upstairs, the bar. The old bar. It's closed. They closed quietly.
Oh yeah.
They didn't make a big thing about it, and they just one day shut the doors.
Shut the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, cannabis culture, or not cannabis. What was it? Vapor Central has been gone for
years.
5 years now, at least.
Yeah. I think Planet Paradise, they closed more. They were probably the last one that closed.
That's the one I was talking about, Planet Paradise. Okay. They were the last one that closed, and they closed quietly because I didn't hear anything about it. I said to Matt, I said, is there anywhere to go in the city anymore? And there are some new places opening up. And he said, no, they've closed everything. I said, what about the one there in Cabbage Town? He said, no, they just one day closed the doors and just walked away, because it got to the point where they're getting raided all the time. And, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, when you have locked doors and security standing there, the police kind of like to know what's going on, although I'm sure they did know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember when... No, go ahead.
I was going to say, all right, time to move on, but you finished what you were going to say.
No, because now I've already forgotten.
Oh, hey, I hate that. Current recent memory loss. We used to call it when we were kids. All right. Moving on to the next.
It's certainly high on the list.
Oh, God, you could have warned me, Al.
Oh.
You know, before we do my high list, I want to play something that I should have done, because we've been talking about Toronto. I've got a short little thing here.
Okay.
Steve Martin in Toronto in 1974.
The only major city in North America with a streetcar system. Next stop, become into dial. Oh, this is it. It says here, 1861, the Toronto Street Railway system was established with horse-drawn cars. Gosh,
$115. You don't understand. You know what it's like to shop for Stella?
Oh.
You know what she puts me through? You don't understand. You just don't understand.
You get that, right, Al?
No, I don't understand. This escalator is not moving.
Wait for it.
I've been stuck on this escalator for 40 minutes. Help!
Help.
Toronto is a city on the move. They're constantly building. For example, this is the new communications tower. It's 1,805 feet high, making it the tallest self-supporting structure in the world. It was built for 3 reasons. 1, they wanted to improve the communication system for the city of Toronto. 2, they wanted to have a distinctive landmark for the city. And 3, they wanted to attract more gorillas from the Empire State Building.
I didn't say it was funny.
Is Kensington Market, a Portuguese, Jewish, Italian, Greek, Spanish, Chinese, West Indian grocery store bazaar. In other words, it's a polyglot. What is a polyglot? A polyglot is a parrot that's been run over by a truck.
Oh.
All right. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, I thought it was amusing when I found it, and then, you know.
No, okay. Right. Move on to your 5 high list.
Our list today,
yeah,
excuse me, is Cannabis medicine, plant, or drug? 5 reasons it's not so simple. There's a lot more stuff here than 5 reasons, but I'm just going to go to the 5 reasons.
Yeah, scroll down further.
Let's go down to the key takeaways. There you go. Can you see that, Al?
Yeah, I can read it. Yeah. This is number 1 is cannabis is a naturally occurring plant that humans have cultivated and used for thousands of years. Sure have. The human body contains an endocannabinoid system that naturally produces compounds similar to those found in cannabis. Yes, it does. Cannabis has been used medicinally across diverse cultures for millennia before prohibition. Yes, it has. Legal classification of cannabis continues to evolve worldwide with growing recognition of its legitimate uses. Yes, it has, for sure. Mind you, there are still some who are against it. And cannabis serves as... Oh, there we go. I can't read it. Go? It's up top. Serves
I thought you were done. Sorry, I was trying to follow along.
Cannabis serves multiple functions beyond recreation, including medicine, industrial applications, and cultural and spiritual practices. Yes, it does. All right.
And there's a lot of. I've just been added to the. I can't remember where, but it's one of the Church of Cannabises down in the States.
Yeah.
Added me there to their group. So let's skip down here to our list.
Okay. Number 1, it says natural plant versus synthetic substances. I prefer the natural plant. How about yourself?
As do I, although, as you know, for about 5 years, I did not have a supply and nowhere to get it, cannabis. So I had a prescription for Sesamet, or Nabalone, they call it, which is a synthetic cannabis, but it's, and it cut the pain down to the point where it was tolerable. But like the issue that I have with distillates, because that's basically what it is, just having THC, be it synthetic or other form, is not enough to keep me living. I found myself getting very irritable after a few years of using it. I started having kidney pain, and back pain from I'm guessing the carrier, right? Because it's a powder.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It got to the point where I had to take more and more and more, and then it got to the point where I had to break the capsule open and put it under my tongue to get any relief. That was the point when I said, "Fuck this shit." That's the farthest that I've gone to having take pills for pain. That's the farthest I've gone. I refused to take opiates. It's awful. Your doctor will offer it to you up the fucking wazoo.
Okay? Oh yeah, they do.
And I decided I would rather sit there drooling in pain than become addicted, because over my lifetime, I don't know how many friends I've had that have gotten addicted to Oxy and other forms of pain medications that are not cannabis.
Exactly.
So lost a few. Yep. And there's a few out there that are still very much kicking, but still have an issue that they're trying to, and unfortunately, a lot of people nowadays who are chronically ill have issues with. I have a friend who takes very high doses of morphine every day, and although he wishes he didn't have to, he has to. Otherwise, he can't do anything.
Right.
But to wean him off after, 30 years, 20 years, anyways, of that. It just ain't happening. I mean, doctors will tell you if you're an elderly person and you're a smoker, sometimes they'll suggest don't smoke, don't quit smoking. So cannabis is the way. I don't know why I went off on that, but it's all the same thing. Cannabis is the way. Let's go down.
Number 2. Let's scroll up to number 2. The endocannabinoid system when your body already makes cannabis. Yes, it does.
It does.
Sure does.
Yeah. You know where it starts?
It says here the body
right from your mama's milk.
Yeah. The body naturally produces cannabinoids.
Yep.
They're called endocannabinoids.
Yep. And it literally starts with your mother's milk.
Yeah. And Dr. Bob always talked about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's one of the reasons babies are like, Mama, come here.
All right. And what does the endocannabinoid system does? Scroll up just a tiny bit. It helps out with the other way. Up. Yeah. It helps with you. Whoa. No. Little more. No. The other direction. Right there. Whoa. It helps with, it regulates your mood and stress. It helps with sleep cycles, immune function, helps with pain perception, helps with inflammation responses, memory processing, and appetite and metabolism. Those are some of the things that the ECS does for us as humans, which are all very important things. Number 3 is that historically in cultural context, cannabis is beyond recreation. Yeah, it's ancient medicinal heritage. It says here that the Chinese pharmacopoeias dated back to 2800 BCE.
Now, BCE is what?
Before
Christ, eventually? I'm Jewish. Help me out, Al.
I don't know what the E stands for, but BC, before Christ and after Christ.
Right.
I don't know. They say ancient Egyptian medical papyra mentioned cannabis preparations in India. It was a tradition. Cannabis has been used for thousands of years. In the Greek and the Romans, physicians prescribed cannabis for pain and inflammation.
And we have Bonnie Drake has been making comments, and she's a member of the.
Yeah, she says, I'm a member of the American Cannabis Nurses Association. All right, because they were supportive last I had read. Currently treating cancers, dementia, anxiety disorders, people of all ages with both mental and physical illnesses. Most work out of our homes and utilize multiple plants to achieve results. Want more information? We are in every state. Bonnie, I completely agree with you. I know that there's several nurses association. I know I was on another podcast recently where one of the hosts was.
Wait a minute. You were on another podcast.
I'm on 5 a week. Come on.
I don't miss those days, Al.
Yeah. As you can see here, Bonnie lists off a bunch of different cannabinoids. It's just she says I was on 17 meds. Now I'm on 2. Bonnie, I was on 32 medications, including a self-injection I had to do every week in my stomach.
And I have I'm only taking stuff for my diabetes and for my prostate and cannabis. That's really all I'm.
Yeah.
Oh, and my cholesterol. But
yeah, we all have a lot to learn. That's right. There's never we've been doing this for over 20 years, and we still learn something new every day. Science is still learning. Science.
All right, number 4.
4, evolving legal status. Yes, worldwide it's been changing. They have a brief history there of how it was illegal throughout most of the world in the early 20th century. The 1937 Marijuana Tax Act in the U.S., 1970 Controlled Substances Act also, and then there's all those UN treaties that were against it and making people, say that they had to keep it illegal. And I believe they actually got to a point where they were allowing medicinal use in it. And that was one of the things that Canada used when we first brought in our medical program, was the fact that it was
distillate.
So,
yeah, but now it's illegal to produce on your own. unfortunately.
You
can grow it.
Over 35 countries have legalized medical cannabis in some form.
Yep.
Multiple nations and states have legalized adult use. Exactly. And like in the States, there's so many, over half the states got it legal.
Canada was the first nation to legalize.
Yeah. The World Health
Well, no, I don't. I think it was the first country. I think Canada was the first country.
Uruguay.
Oh, that's right. Yep. You're right. Yeah. Forgot about that. Sorry, Uruguay.
The World Health Organization has recommended rescheduling of cannabis under U.S. treaties, and a lot of places are expunging cannabis convictions.
But there are still countries out there that will kill you if you get
correct. There is exactly, and remember that. That's why I always say, educate, medicate, and do not incarcerate.
I friended. Can't remember his name. The guy from Midnight Express.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. But anyways, I've been following him for years and years and years. And he's now got another book and a documentary about it as well. But what I found interesting was the culture where, he got caught trying to bring hash back to the States from, where was it?
Rosie? You talking about Rosie?
No.
Okay, because Rosie was a big hash dealer. Brought it in.
No. I'll have to look up his name. I can't remember. But anyways, it's the gentleman that the movie Midnight Train is about. He eventually broke out of jail, and the Canadian government helped him get him out of the country.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh. Yeah,
but he's still around, and he still lectures and stuff like that.
All right, let's go to number 5.
No, I don't want to.
Therapeutic potential versus recreational use. There is a difference, they say.
Only because of the word.
Beyond the recreational paradigm, they said, unlike substances used exclusively for intoxication, cannabis serves multiple purposes. It sure does. Patients may use CBD products for anxiety or inflammation. Medical cannabis often involves microdosing. Oh, does it? Doesn't produce a significant high. Many medical users report improved functionality rather than impairment. Yes. Some consumers use minimal amounts, specifically tolerance, to enhance creative work or focus.
For the record, I enjoy improved functionality and impairment.
Yeah. You can improve. You can enjoy both. Exactly. I know when I was writing for Treating Yourself, sometimes I just smoke a joint just so I could focus on what I was doing.
When I'm trying to do stuff on the computer, I'm usually doing 3 or 4 or 5 different things at once, and it helps me focus on the one, depending on the strain. But to try and do stuff like that without, no, it ain't happening.
Okay, then I didn't know it was. This says that patient-directed approach includes cannabis. Says patients typically self-titrate dosage based on effects. Yeah. Treatments involves finding individual-specific effective doses. Variety of delivery methods allow personalized approaches. Correct. It does. I have a friend that just loves a bong but hates a joint. Many medical users report using less over time, contrary to addiction patterns. Exactly. And they say conclusion. We don't go to conclusion. Towards a more nuanced classification. Let's see. The article doesn't suggest. They say what remains clear is that the traditional drug.
Charlie Brown.
That's my speed reading. Didn't you catch any of that? I say traditional. What remains is clear that traditional drug framework will be insufficient for understanding a plant that has been intertwined with human civilizations for thousands of years and that interacts with fundamental system within our own bodies. And by expanding our conceptual categories beyond simple doctrines, we can develop a more accurate and nuanced understanding of cannabis and its place in human society. Yeah. I agree.
I feel we need a round of applause.
All right, you got one?
No.
Okay. I see we got a bunch of comments there. I see good Bonnie's. Yep. I see Big Terp is in the grow. G'day, Big Terp. How you doing? All righty.
Next.
Next. All right. Next, after the 5 high list, we're moving on to
It's not called the 5 high list. It's called the high 5 list, Al.
Okay. That's probably won't be the first time I'll get it wrong.
No, I'm sure.
All right. I'm just going to bring up the picture here first. Here we go. What's that look like?
It looks like a banana split.
It sure is. It sure is. We got a banana split with cannabis chocolate sauce. Mmm. You just need 1 banana. Don't forget to peel it. Cut it lengthways. You need 3 scoops of vanilla ice cream or whatever flavor you prefer. If you can eat nuts, chop them up before you put them on. Some of us are allergic or can't eat them because of dietary reasons. Chocolate sauce and
no nuts for you, Al.
Yeah, whipped cream as well. And they say place your banana slices in a plate, top with scoops of ice cream, drizzle with a cannabis-infused chocolate sauce, and squirt the cream with sprinkle the nuts, and enjoy your banana split. Now, I'm going to try to click on the link here. You can see there's a link for the chocolate sauce. And I did open a new, just so you know, it did open another page. I didn't open the same one. But just to make the sauce, it says you use 1 cup of heavy cream, 2 tablespoons of can butter, and 8 ounces of dark chocolate. I use milk chocolate instead.
I prefer dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I like sharp. I like dark chocolate so much. My mom used to get baker's chocolate for baking. You know, and it's got no sugars in it. It's just chocolate. And I would munch out on that. It's very tart.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they say to put your in a double boiler or heated proof bowl, set things together. So you got simmering water underneath this is the way I do it with a double boiler. I put a pot with hot water in it on the stove, and I put another pot with the chocolate on top. Heat the water, which then in turn melts the chocolate, and then you can add your can butter to it, stir it all up, and voila, you're done.
I have my mom's double boiler, but she used to also put just a whipping bowl on top of the pot so that she could right.
Yeah. And then just pour that on your banana split and enjoy.
So my sister and I were she said all the restaurants we used to go to in place are closed. If we went down to the city, where would you want to go? And one of the places that popped into my head was Dutch Dreams, which used to be at Vaughan and St. Clair. And they were also featured in the movie. Do you know what movie it was?
No.
It was a movie with Matthew Broderick and Marlon Brando.
Yeah,
called The Freshman. And it was featured in the movie. But anyway, Dutch Dreams is an ice cream shop that used to be at Vaughan Road in St. Clair, had a big cone out front, and they've moved down the road a little bit, but they're still there.
Are they? Boy, they've been around for a while then.
They've been there since the 70s,
Yeah.
And lineups, because they were open till 3, 4. This is This was the place that you went to before places like Just Dessert in Toronto.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Someone has to lead, right?
Go to Caniso's for a meatball sandwich, and then on your way home, Dutch Dreams for a banana split.
And you know what? I was gonna pick a recipe that talked about meatballs, but maybe next week. But instead, I grabbed the last one, the banana split, and I also grabbed this one here, which is, as you can see, nachos. Ganja nachos. There you go.
Now, what are they medicating in this?
What are they medicating in this? THC oil is what they're asking for.
Okay, so what
And
kind of oil?
if you want, you can add
Olive
some
oil?
beer to it.
What was that?
And if you want, you can add some beer to it.
Yeah, I would think that infusing a sour cream would be quite easy as well, and you wouldn't lose anything because of the heat.
So there you go. You got onion, tomatoes, green tomatoes, red tomatoes, some peppers, some garlic, the beer, lemon juice, some, I say 3 tablespoons of THC oil, some tortilla shells, chips, and
tortilla.
And an avocado. It said heat up your oven, roughly chop your tomatoes, jalapenos, and onions, add them to a blender with the garlic, beer, lemon juice, and THC oil. Pulse it 3 times so the mixture becomes chunky. Spread the chips on a baking sheet, cover with Tex-Mex cheese, and top with several heaping spoonfuls of the mixture you just made. Put it in a baking sheet and put it in the oven for 5 or 10 minutes or until...
You're making me hungry.
Well, that's the idea.
I have a half a roast beef sandwich here.
Yeah. So the ganja nacho recipe, I will put it in the chat. And unfortunately, I got rid of the other one. I closed it off. Recipe.
Now I'm thinking about all the restaurants that are closed. Did you ever go to a restaurant called Ginsberg and Wong? It was near the art gallery?
No.
Ginsberg and Wong was a very unique place. It was literally Chinese food and deli.
Oh, really? Eh?
Yeah.
That was it.
And ever since then, I got a thing. When I make a stir fry, I like to have grilled cheese sandwiches with it. That's from Ginsberg and Wong.
Okay, there we go. That was my recipes for today. And I put the one in the link. So you can have your nachos, and when you're done your nachos, you can have yourself a banana split.
May happen sooner than you think.
Okay, give us a review next week.
Well, it won't be next week.
It won't be next week? Okay.
No, we still got lots of snow here, dude. My car's still buried.
Oh, it's
I was looking at it the other day. It's just surrounded by snow. It's you can see the car now.
Yeah.
But there's a big bank of snow around the whole thing because it's very windy here being next to the lake.
Right. I could just imagine it is. So, all righty. Let's move on to the next topic of the day or segment, however you want to call it. And it is all right. Today, I got a gift that was given to me from a friend of ours. Where'd you go, Al?
I'm here just because we can't see what you're showing us if you're not big.
I got this given to me. It's called the Kootenai Buddha Romulan.
Gee, I wonder who you got that from.
Who do you think?
Somebody by the name of Tamara, maybe?
No.
Really?
No. No. I got this.
And so, what is it? A wax?
Yeah. Yeah. There's two pieces in there, and it smells like Vicks.
Is it for smoking or for rubbing?
It's for smoking. It's 1 gram, and this was gifted to me by Naomi.
Oh, from Naomi. Oh, wow.
Naomi Pulley.
Who worked as a nurse and is very well known as a cannabis connoisseur in Toronto. Very well known person.
Yes, she's a retired nurse.
Yes, she is. Yeah.
And
but she's been in the cannabis community supporting since before she stopped working. So
yeah, exactly. And she well, I was there. I was down visiting Marco the first time I went down and visited Marco, and after we got done, we went up for lunch. Cindy and I went up for lunch, and because Cindy was in Toronto doing something
and then
else.
Went to cafe.
So we went to the cafe dispensary down on Fort York Road.
And they have like now that's the first one we've talked about. That's the first one they opened.
Yeah,
and that's the one where they put the big wall of blocks in front of them. I frequented the one at over by Ossington and St. Clair. No, it was further out than Ossington. Probably closer to Keele. But in the same scenario, you walk in there and they're still very much open. It looks like you're walking into a cafe.
Yeah, when we walked in, this one, it had like a counter where you order something to eat. Out front, there was tables.
And lots of doors with padlocks on them.
And there was, it had a bathroom. Upstairs was the boardroom.
Yep.
Out front, like outside, there was a patio.
They had chairs out?
Yeah, but it was cold. Nobody was out there.
Well, it's nice to know that there's a place to go still, because there really isn't.
Yeah, there's no the space we were in wasn't huge. It was more like you say, it was like a cafe. It was sort of smallish.
10, 12 people, maybe,
Yeah. So I've just loaded the Romlin
into your Shatterizer?
Into my Shatterizer.
I've killed another one. I don't have any working ones.
And we'll just, like I said to you, it smelled like Vicks. That was the first thing I said to Naomi when she said, "Hey,
maybe it'll help your throat."
Maybe. She said, "Check this out." So I opened it up, smelt it. I said, "Wow, does that ever smell like Vicks?" She says, "Yeah. Do you want it?"
She probably didn't like it.
Yeah, that's what. So I said, "Well, hey, sure, I'll take it." And then I thought, okay, I'll use it for a product review here on the show.
Ooh, that's got a lot of smoke to it.
Yeah, it almost looks
vapor.
It almost, vapor. It goes with the background here.
There you go.
It doesn't taste like it smells.
Well, I don't hear you coughing. What setting do you usually have your Shatterizer on?
I'm on green.
So the first one.
Yeah.
You know that you can suck for 12 seconds with one of those.
Can you?
Yeah, it's one of the longer. Most of them.
Here comes that cough.
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's expected to have a cold.
Do you have a hard time smoking anything or vaping outside during the cold?
Outside in the cold air? No,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
normally.
Oh yeah, I cough like crazy outside, even more so.
It's just yeah.
Too
I'll
much, it's
cough
too much
on
air.
tabs. That happens.
Too much
But
air.
yeah, no, it's there's not an overpowering flavor to it. There's no, it's not obviously it's not a fruity flavor. I like the fruity flavored ones. This is a sativa dominant strain, just so you know. And see if I can get a bit on the end of the. Okay, you can change the screen there again.
You're awfully demanding today, Al.
I am. I know. There you go. I got the pieces on the.
Don't drop it.
I know. That's the first thing I'm thinking too. I don't want to drop it.
Oh yeah, it's that when you're rolling that last joint
Yeah.
and you don't got to get it, you don't got any more until the next day, and then you spill it on the cat.
Oh yeah. You can't. Or it falls on the ground.
Steven is usually either beside me on the couch,
Yeah.
on the pet pillow because they both use it, or he's at my feet. And when he's at my feet, he is literally a pot catcher.
Is he?
Hi, buddy.
Hey, buddy Weeds, how you doing, man? Puff, puff, pass as well.
All right, let's move on.
Moving on. Okay, from product review, we are turning our sights to today's headlines. All righty. Now, for today's headline, I grabbed one that is very important. There are a lot of cannabis advocates across the country that are doing things in order to help people that are addicted to drugs, that want to get away from that. So today's headline says medical cannabis may help reduce cravings and improve recovery outcomes. This is a pilot study that is being done by the UBC Okanagan and Thomas Rivers University. So it's done right here in British Columbia. Or not here in British Columbia, but here in Canada, British Columbia.
When did you move?
When did I move? Yeah, they said that it's a study that's examined how medically supervised cannabis use in residential recovery home may support people in treatment of substance use challenges. This is participants reported that cannabis helped them manage pain, anxiety, depression, and sleep issues, key symptoms that can help that can complicate recovery. So those are things that cannabis can help with that. They say that our findings suggest medical cannabis could play a meaningful role in reducing cravings and improving retention to recovery programs. Participants clearly indicated benefits in managing both physical and psychological challenges during recovery. And they said that users reported reduced cravings for opioids and other harmful substances, improved pain management, and enhanced mental health and sleep quality, which are all benefits. They say, but unfortunately, stigma around cannabis use remains a significant barrier, and it does. They're completely right. They said that they interviewed staff at these places and revealed a need for increased education and better integration into the cannabis treatment approach. And they feel that reduced stigma through targeted education and program staff is critical.
Another thing that they're fighting here in Ontario, anyways, is what we call the Smoke Free Ontario Act.
Yeah.
Now, there's a few there's a few homes, halfway homes, whatever you want to call them, nursing homes, that will allow you and have a room set up for vaping, though. Like you can use what do you call that big vaporizer that we had fun with?
Volcano.
The volcano, yeah. So they'll have a volcano in a little room. Now the issue, though, being able to do that in a hospital, it has to be in a room that is confined and has a circulation system because it can't go anywhere else in the hospital.
Right.
So there still are some issues as far as being able to inhale cannabis. But, you know, I'm finding, or I'm hearing anyways, that they're not using cannabis products as far as other means of using cannabis. They're using synthetics. They choose to use synthetics.
Oh, really? Eh?
No.
Now this, oops, I've lost that page.
Oh, you just closed it.
That's all right. I'm gonna reopen it. Yeah. So the I look at this as being good news for patients.
Yeah. Because they're allowing it. It's just you got to figure out how to do it.
Yeah. They say all results are promising. Researchers emphasize the need for larger scale studies to fully access the benefits and risk incorporating medical cannabis into substance use recovery programs. The study was funded by the University's Research Coalition and BC's Ministry of Health.
There got to be something. They've got to allow something and educate people. Right now, the biggest, as far as medical goes, in Canada, it's the seniors. You know,
yeah, a lot of seniors have shifted.
We have to teach the seniors how to do this because the kids are going to figure it out on their own. Okay, they've got their rec stuff they can use, but the people, the sick people, I'm starting to sound like Trump. The sick people are the ones that need to be properly educated because most of the stuff that you see online.
Okay, from there we are shifting to another headline. As
another
one. Another one. Yeah, I got one more. One that you picked out, which is good news for people who are in Michigan, because in Michigan, what they're doing is it says that Michigan Supreme Court, cannabis odor alone is insignificant probable cause for warrantless vehicle search.
Yeah, we've heard this up here too.
Yeah. This is it's important because there are people, patients who do drive, and just because they smell like cannabis does not mean that they are impaired.
Why do I smell cannabis in the car? Because I've got plants in the back. I'm taking them home. You're allowed to travel with 4 plants as long as they're not flooding in Ontario.
Yeah, and it would smell different.
Canada-wide.
Yeah, and it would smell different because of the fact that a cannabis plant doesn't smell burnt.
Yeah, but I also have an ounce in the back too, officer.
No.
What are you interrogating me now, Al?
Yes. You're not allowed to grow plants in your car.
If it's your home, you can.
If it's your home, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. So yeah, people in Michigan, just so you know, if your car smells like cannabis, they have to find another reason, and for you to be able to, for them to be able to search your car.
And we had this discussion way back when they first legalized, and we're talking about legalizing here in Canada. I've had conversations with Jack Lloyd about it.
Yeah.
And basically is the odor of cannabis is not enough to detain you for an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be something else there.
Yeah, it should be. Exactly. I know we did a story in the news on Monday down in Australia. Patients are really concerned and worried that their new driving laws is going to keep them at home. They won't be allowed to drive.
Again, something we went through here.
Yeah, I know. I had patients call me Send me messages when we legalized in 2018.
Australia, it's next. Oh. That one got me by boo-boo.
Yeah, that happens every once in a while, eh?
Australia is where we were 15 years ago. You know, they're just finding their footsteps with a medical program. And they don't have recreational, I believe. It's only medical, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
No.
I'm just trying to think.
And that will change too. But they're just over the last maybe 2 years starting to get their feet wet with cannabis. And so what we're seeing Australia go through now, we went through 10, 12, 15 years ago.
Yeah, and there'll be more countries that'll go through that as well.
What's it, how long has it been? It's 8 years now?
For us? No, we're 7.
7 years.
Yeah, like come October, it'll be 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're 6.5 now, I guess, right? So, but yeah, you got any news you want to bring up?
Yes.
Okay, we do the news. Before we get into this
news. No, not news.
News.
Well, we can save this one for next.
We'll do the entertainment and education and that section, we call it. Events.
Okay.
Events. Right. Yeah. Okay.
I don't have any events other than I want to remind people that May 3rd.
I've got one once we get to that section. That segment. I've got an event. You got no more news? No more cannabis news? He's gone to sleep on me.
No, we're good.
We're switching to sports.
The one subject I could not give a fuck about.
Well, I thought being that this is an achievement, this one had to be brought up.
Before you begin your sports, let me ask you a question. Are you gonna grow a beard for the month to show a faith?
Beard for a month for
the hockey
playoffs?
For hockey. Yeah.
For playoffs? Yeah, I've never done that.
No.
No. Just never have.
I already had one. It's the moot point.
Yeah, you already got yours. All right, here we go. Headline for the sports: Alex Ovechkin scores 895th goal to break Gretzky's NHL goal record.
I saw that after watching a video of a friend at a bar with his father just last weekend. Yeah.
There you go. Now, I think this has got, I don't know if we'll get in trouble for this or not. I was going to play that little video to show that his goal.
How long is it?
It's not very long.
Well, just play it.
Try to force it to him if he's open. Here is Ovechkin.
Oh, there we go. Like I said, I don't think I could play it.
Did it said you can't do that?
Yeah, it said you can't do that.
Hmm.
Yeah, it didn't like that. It looks like you're using an ad blocker. Oh, I just saw this notice come up. I'm not using it. Well, maybe my system.
If you have ad block set on your Chrome, it will do that as well. Like I have that set so that I don't get pop-ups.
Yeah.
So you've got that set that way so you don't get pop-ups. That's what's going on.
I get pop-ups all the time during the news, during the marijuana moment. Fucking things come up all the time.
It depends on the website you go to.
Yeah. That too. Yeah. So we didn't get to see the goal, but he scored it.
I'm sure if you're a hockey fan, you've already seen the fucking goal.
Yeah, that's true. But there's probably some people maybe that missed it. But just so you know, Gretzky's goal scoring record has finally been beaten. And I seen a headline saying that Austin Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs doesn't think he's going to catch Ovechkin on that. So, see what happens.
Huh.
And last little bit on sports I have here is just to give you some quick rundown of the scores. And on where was this? Monday night? Yeah, Monday night. The Lightning beat the Rangers 5-1. Sharks lost to the Flames 3-2. Does that mean the Sharks went down in flames? Hey.
That means the Sharks got eaten by a whale.
Yeah. The Jets beat the Blues 3-1. Ducks over the Oilers 3-2. And Kraken beats the Kings. So there you go.
That's basketball.
Basketball. There we go. Kings over the Pistons, and 76ers lost to the Heat.
Huh.
And they even got Major League Baseball, Tigers, Blue Jays. So there's the scores for them there as well.
Are you a Stanley Cup watcher?
I have been not so much in the last couple of years, but in the past years, I was constantly. I was a hockey.
Are the Leafs?
I was
still
vice president of minor hockey in my town. Come on,
yeah. Are the Leafs still in it?
From what I saw or heard, I thought they said that they are.
Because I'm enjoying there. If you watch Prime or any of the other streaming services, there's a slew of commercials. One of them is the Law and Order Toronto cast interrogating the Stanley Cup. There's a few where they've involved the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Now I've seen the Cup up close and personal because I went to the opening of the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto.
Yeah.
Way back when.
I went to
my
Hockey Hall of Fame.
What's Up Toronto magazine. And I got to walk down the red carpet with Daryl Sittler.
Oh.
This is when they allowed media to just walk down the red carpet with everybody else because, you got your pictures and you had to have your mental notes of what you wanted to say. And Daryl Sittler happened to be beside me walking down the red carpet. So I went into photographer mode and started snapping pictures. And then I said hello to him and then I left. On to the next person. There were a lot of people there. All the big hockey players, all the old hockey players, like Daryl Sittler, and I think that Shaq was there.
Oh yeah, Eddie
Shaq, not Big Shaq. Although Eddie Shaq was a pretty big guy too.
Yeah, he loved golf.
Yeah, and Paul.
My dad used to golf with him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. My dad golfed with him, and he golfed with others as well. Went to Eddie Shaq's place for parties. My dad played hockey in Europe.
He was a true Canadian, that guy, Eddie Shaq. Yeah. And he also, I'm not kidding, he loved pop. He owned the pop shop. He started the pop shop. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or he was involved with it or something like that. But he was involved with the pop shop in some form. Yep.
Now, just so you know, I did pull up a little bit. You asked me about the Leafs, and presently, according to the standings, they have clinched the playoff spot.
Oh, awesome!
And they are 76-47-25 was what their record was. And I see that they are, and I believe that they are playing Florida. There you go. Regular seasons. Yeah.
They've made it to the playoffs a few times over the last few years, but they've never quite been able to get over the hump.
It just means I got to get a little more attention close to find out what's going on with them. I've just been too busy lately. doing things.
I remember when the Argos won that first time after many years. Toronto just lit up. We drove up and down Yonge Street. I don't know how many times with beers in our hands, sitting on the lid of my sister's car, going back and forth up and down Yonge. The city just lights up. I went to when the Blue Jays came back. They did a thing down at the Sky Dome. It was still called the Sky Dome then, and the place was packed.
Yeah.
Toronto is a big sports
town. The Leafs haven't won since 1967.
But the Argos have, and the Argos won last year apparently, and I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And then the Raptors are doing pretty good themselves. So
the Blue Jays have won a series since the Leafs did. The Leafs are
the Blizzard still plays down at the exhibition.
Yeah, BMO Field.
It's Coca-Cola Field now, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
They keep changing names. I guess that's all dealt with sponsorships, anyways. So.
Well, look, we've gone from the Air Canada Centre to the Scotia.
Yeah. Well, that's all. Who's got the money?
Who's got the money?
Right. I say even like in small town,
not Elon Musk at the moment. He doesn't have any money, but whatever.
All righty. From sports, time to go to entertainment and events. And what do you have?
I've got a review of the show from Prime, from Google Prime, or not Google Prime, Amazon Prime. There's a new company for you. A show called The Bondsman. And it is Kevin Bacon. It's funny, it's witty, and let's watch the trailer.
Did you die?
Male enforcement, come out with your hands up.
Oh.
Yeah, I think maybe I did.
Mr. Halloran, come here about your new job orientation.
She knows things, Hub, about how you
died and went to hell. You're only standing here now because we brought you back.
Which is just plain silly.
Do you think it's silly, Mr. Halloran?
What job, lady?
You're still a bounty hunter, but now you hunt demons for the devil.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Imagine hell is a prison, and sometimes inmates bust out. This time one of them busted out here, and more might be coming. The warden wants them found and sent back.
What do you mean, send them back?
Just put one in the brain, and you'll see, hopefully, for all of us.
I need to tell you something about your pastor.
I hope he's feeling better this morning. Maybe it's not just about killing demons.
Run!
You can get your family back together.
You're stuck in this so-called job for how long?
Till hell runs out of demons, seems like. You need to see this. There's a pattern.
Then call the hotline.
A 1-900 number charging $10 a minute.
What do you expect? It's hell. If you fail to process any demons assigned to you,
step on it, we're skipping school.
You will be terminated.
Jesus, Lord, please help me.
Did you take our son along for a demon fight yesterday?
I'm just trying to do something nice here.
You okay?
No. You?
Nope.
24 hours a day.
Now
Check that out.
I watched that. I sat down. I was bored. I was looking for something to watch, and I started. I watched every episode together in one sitting.
Oh, did you? Oh,
it was that
big
good.
binge.
It's very Beetlejuice-esque.
Is it?
You'll get once you watch it, you'll get what I mean by that.
Okay.
It's basically Beetlejuice meets a bounty hunter.
Is it?
And it's Kevin Bacon, and
Yeah,
he's very funny and witty, and I've been telling people about this one, and
All right.
I really enjoy it.
I'll have to check it out for sure.
Yep.
All right. Now, what I got an event, and I picked a song for some entertainment for today, and the song, I'll get into that when I get to there. But first, let's go to the event. And just so you know, I will put the event in the chat, okay? But first, I will bring it up here.
If you can remember, Al.
But yeah, here we come. It is the 420 in the 6, Toronto, from 2 to 8 p.m. It's on Sunday, April the 20th. Of course, got you $12 for a ticket. This is coming to us from Pixies Collective. Location to be announced. Now, about as far as the information about the event, it says it's the biggest day of the Stoner year. Join us April the 20th from 2 to 8 p.m. for the best Canadian legacy community. It says this vibrant 19-plus green marketplace features more than 20 trusted brands with incredible deals, free samples, huge raffle prizes, indoor consumption, and more. You can follow Pixies Collective on Instagram to get some more information. And here's choose your tickets based on our awesome 8 gift options. It says each ticket receives a custom lighter, 1 raffle prize ticket, and your choice of 1 free gift. Now, they say choose your ticket based on one, as I mentioned, of our awesome 8 gift options. Number 1, 5 additional raffle tickets, prize tickets, 1 post roll, your choice of 12 strain options while supplies last. Number 3 is 2 grams of Moroccan black hash, 3 grams of daytime flower, or 3.5 grams of nighttime flower. So I'd probably say indica and a sativa. Or
this is the gift bag.
Yeah, choose your tickets based on your 8 gift options. Yeah. 1 Mary Jaynard's liquid candy syrup, your choice of 10 flavors. 1 package of Mary Jaynard's peanut, I guess it's Jaynard's, peanut butter cups, and 2 packages of gummies from the same person. Your choice of 4 flavors. And it says you can even add the incredible unlimited dab bar upgrade, which gives you access to your unlimited dabs throughout the entire event. $12. There you go.
One of the last events that we went to together was one of her events.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was called. It was out in the Stockyard area of Toronto.
Yeah. So there you go. You're looking for something to do on 420? This is something that you'd want to go to if you're in the city or willing to drive all the way to the city and spend the night there. So there you go. 420.
There's another one going on as well on the 19th, but I can't remember any information. I will get that stuff next week.
I'm putting the link in the comments.
Putting the link.
Yeah,
In.
it's through Eventbrite.
We need some putting a link into the comments music.
What's that?
We need some putting the link in the chat music.
Oh, okay. We'll have to create something for that. All right. Do you have anything that you want to add before I go on to my next thing? Just take turns.
What are we doing right now?
Events and entertainment.
No.
And education. We'll just make it the triple E's. If you got a video, you got a video for education.
I have a video that is going to tell us the all burning questions that we need to know about psilocybin.
Oh, all right. Let's check it out.
Psilocybin is a naturally occurring psychedelic compound. It is found in certain types of mushrooms, often called magic mushrooms. These mushrooms have a long history of use in indigenous ceremonies. They are known for their ability to alter consciousness. Psilocybin works by interacting with the brain's serotonin receptors. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter. It plays a role in mood perception and cognition. When psilocybin enters the brain, it binds to these receptors. This leads to changes in the way the brain processes information. The experience of taking psilocybin can vary widely. It depends on factors like dosage, individual sensitivity, and the setting in which it is taken. Common effects include altered perception of time and space. Visual and auditory hallucinations can occur. People often report feeling a sense of euphoria and connectedness. Psilocybin can also induce introspection. It can lead to profound spiritual experiences. This has sparked growing interest in its therapeutic potential. Researchers are exploring its use for treating mental health conditions. They are also exploring its use for enhancing creativity and well-being. In Canada, psilocybin is classified as a Schedule III controlled substance. This means that recreational use of psilocybin is illegal. Possession, production, and distribution of psilocybin mushrooms are prohibited. However, there are exceptions to this rule. Psilocybin can be legally accessed for specific purposes. One avenue is through clinical trials. These trials are carefully regulated. They are designed to investigate the safety and efficacy of psilocybin for treating various conditions. Another legal pathway is through Health Canada's Special Access Program, or SAP. The SAP allows healthcare professionals to request access to restricted drugs. This access is for patients with serious or life-threatening conditions. This program has strict eligibility criteria. It requires documentation from a healthcare provider. Despite these legal restrictions, a grey market for psilocybin exists in Canada. Storefronts selling psilocybin products have emerged. These are primarily located in British Columbia and Ontario. The legality of these businesses is uncertain. They operate in a legal grey area. Enforcement of the law varies. Psilocybin has shown promise in treating a range of mental health conditions. Macrodosing, which involves taking a high dose of psilocybin, has been studied in clinical trials. These trials have shown that psilocybin can produce significant and sustained reductions in anxiety and depression. These effects...
I just want to point out, half the time it says psilocybin, and the other time it says psilocybin.
Oh, that's just the way the AI pronounces it.
Particularly notable in patients with life-threatening illnesses. This suggests that psilocybin may offer hope to those struggling with end-of-life distress. Often just 1 or 2 doses of psilocybin combined with psychotherapy can lead to lasting improvements. Microdosing, on the other hand, involves taking very small subperceptual doses of psilocybin. This practice has gained popularity. People claim it enhances mood, creativity, and focus. Some proponents suggest that microdosing can reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression.
I'd agree.
While research on microdosing is still in its early stages, anecdotal evidence suggests it may have therapeutic benefits. Studies are underway to explore its potential in treating conditions like PTSD, ADHD, and chronic pain. However, it's important to note that many of the claims made about microdosing are not yet supported by robust scientific evidence. Further research is needed to understand its long-term effects and optimal dosage. While psilocybin holds therapeutic potential, it's crucial to acknowledge the risks and side effects associated with its use. Common side effects include nausea, vomiting, headaches, and chills. Psilocybin can also cause hallucinations and altered perception, which may be distressing for some individuals. One of the most significant risks associated with psilocybin is the potential for a bad trip. These experiences can be characterized by intense anxiety, paranoia, and fear. The likelihood of a bad trip can be influenced by factors such as dosage, mindset, and setting. Individuals with a history of mental health conditions, particularly bipolar disorder, mania, psychosis, or schizophrenia, are at an increased risk of adverse effects. It's crucial for anyone considering using psilocybin to consult with a healthcare professional to assess their individual risk factors. In Canada, compassionate access to psilocybin has been expanded in recent years. The Special Access Program allows healthcare professionals to prescribe psilocybin to patients with specific conditions who have not responded to conventional treatments. This program aims to provide access to potentially life-changing therapies while ensuring patient safety. However, the emergence of the grey market for psilocybin has raised concerns about regulation and consumer safety. Experts have called for better control over health claims made by vendors and for measures to ensure the quality and purity of psilocybin products sold in these unregulated settings. As psilocybin continues to gain recognition for its therapeutic potential, it's essential to strike a balance between fostering research and innovation while implementing appropriate regulations to mitigate risks and protect public health. The future of psilocybin in Canada hinges on navigating this complex landscape responsibly.
There you go.
So that was a story about psilocybin and psilocybin.
Yeah, it was. Now, just so you know, they did talk about the SAP program here in Canada, and I call it SAP program because some people, it's sappy. It's just it's not
They also did it
not
about
what patients need. I mean, patients are waiting hundreds of days for approvals. That's ridiculous.
And then they changed their mind.
Yeah.
They were allowing it very openly, and then they said basically, whoa, wait a minute, because they got flooded with requests. We need more research is basically what they said. I was going to try and Jack was going to try and help me get into that program. Allison as well.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't believe they've even authorized Allison yet.
Look at Mr. Hartle, the fellow who was in the program, and then his year was up, and then he waited 550 days or something before they turned around and denied him. And now he's passed away.
Their argument is that they need more research. They're allowing it for end of care at this point, but they've done an about face on the mental health stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, there's lots of news coming out on the benefits of it.
You know what, dude? I've been very open about it. I've been microdosing for about 5 years, thanks to Paula at the lounge, who informed me and was there when I tried it first. I don't like tripping, so that's not something that I have to worry about. I'm only doing at the most 0.3 of a milligram. Yeah. That would be of a gram. That'd be a lot. And I've had a bad trip, but it wasn't that bad because I'm just microdosing. I'm not, going for the wackadoodle.
Yeah.
It has kicked the depression for the most part out the door.
Good.
And allows me to just kind of calm things down.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Now I've got in the entertainment end of things, I've got us a song. And it's about cannabis.
We should do that in the center of the show, though. Next time.
Yeah. Yeah. We can rearrange things. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Because I like to do this probably every week is to have a cannabis song, and this one that I've picked for today is about legalizing right here in Canada. So here we go.
Us up, they took our names for rolling dreams. They gave us chains, families torn, lives erased. A war on truth, a war on race. The cells were filled, the streets ran cold. The laws were written in blood and gold. 1 billion lost, but no one paid, except the ones they locked away. Then the walls fell down, the smoke poured through. Suddenly they said it's safe for you. They taxed the pain, they sold the cure, but justice still feels so unsure. Legal at last, but the scars remain. Time moves fast, but who takes the blame? Gift of the gods, let the future rise. Dr. High, stand where the lost ones lie. Legal at last, but the scars remain. Time moves fast, but who takes the blame? The gift of the gods, let the future rise. Dr. High, stand where the lost ones lie. North of the border, the tide has turned. 5 years free and the people learned. Crime went down, streets stayed clean. Cannabis healed, it changed the scene. No smoke and fear, no wasted lives. No broken homes, no goodbye cries. The world took note, they saw it clear. The green rush rose, the truth is near. Oh, smoke rise high, echoes whisper through the sky. For every name, for every fight, one green leaf still shining bright. Legal at last, but the scars remain. Time moves fast, but who takes the blame? Gift of the gods, let the future rise. Dr. High, stand where the lost ones lie. Legal at last, but the scars remain. Time moves fast, but who takes the blame? Gift of the gods, let the future rise. Dr. High still lights the way. Legal at last, but the scars remain. Time moves fast, but who takes the blame? Gift of the gods, let the future rise. Dr. High, stand where the lost ones lie.
There you go. Dr. High creates that music, and that song, as it says, cannabis is legal as last, but the scars remain. A lot of people out there have got criminal records. A lot of people out there that went to jail fighting as patients, and there are lots of scars. There's no doubt about that. So you can check out more of that music Thursday nights. It's played here on 420pace.ca and paceradio.net. I think it runs on yours. I'm not sure. Huh?
On the reroll, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, we'll incorporate music and we'll put it into a spot, and that one
maybe even 2 spots.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, sounds like a plan. And we'll put some stuff in there, make them educational.
One of the things that's lacking over the last maybe 5 years is music, because that's what I started doing. The whole idea was listen to some tunes, talk about some weed, smoke some weed, and talk about the news, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Things change.
Yes, it does. All right, what do we got going on here? I see we got a message. Buddy Weeds, he says, great start to the day. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the day. He says that I'm really enjoying the music show by Doc. So check it out. There we go. Anything else offhand? I see we've almost gone the full 2 hours.
No, I'm going to save this other thing for next show.
Okay, all right.
And yeah.
All right. We'll have to get together over the week and come up with a new segment. I can just tell.
There's a few, and maybe remove one or two.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Time we can discuss that. But yeah, I've got to go. I've got to head to the vets. I got this kitty that I've got to go out, or cat that I've got to go out and catch and take it to the vet so that we can scan it to see if it's got a microchip and return it to its owner. And if it doesn't have an owner or a microchip and no one's claimed it on Facebook, we have found an owner for this cat that showed up at our house on the weekend.
So if you're missing your pussy,
it's orange with a white patch.
I had an orange tabby long hair, Rusty, who I had the fortune of. He was the first one born. I had his mom.
Yeah.
And I had him from the day he was born till the day he died.
Yeah.
Yeah. 16 years. Oh, he was a beautiful cat. And he got very sick, unfortunately, as animals do. Yeah, he's a short hair.
Yeah, short hair.
Rusty was a long hair.
Yeah. Look at my dog. Lays him back on the couch. Looks like she's even winking at you.
Dude, Rosa has her own fucking chair.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Tessa.
And you know what she does? She will I'll go to bed. I'll kick her out of the bed so I can make the bed because I don't much like sleeping in fur or slobber.
Yeah.
And then she'll jump back in, but the minute I get into the bed, she'll leave.
Yeah.
And because she wants to go lay on the couch, which is my spot. But she almost always, I almost always wake up beside her. Like she's cuddled beside me when I wake up in the morning, right? But she always comes. She doesn't like it when I roll around a lot to get comfortable in that. She doesn't like it. She's been kicked.
Alrighty. Anything else before we say goodbye?
No.
Okay. All right. Then we got a message. And this is from the Shadow. Good show. Love the cat and cannabis.
The cat and cannabis. My cat's a stoner.
Your cat's a stoner.
Yep. All right, Al.
All right. Thanks, Miss the Shadow. Thanks, Buddy Weeds, and everybody else for tuning in the program.
Thanks, Miss Piggy, for being you, and Kermit.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, we'll be back next week, same time, Tuesdays, 10 a.m. And who knows?
High time, same high channel.
That's right. We'll talk to you all then. Bye-bye.
You're watching the 420 Pace, found at 420pace.ca. Rerolled Saturdays. Check it out. Nothing but non-stop cannabis and psychedelic programming. Find it at 420pace.ca.